Welcome back to SK Hobbies AZ, and I am Stitch. So this next part, we're going to be talking about, I finished the builder's kit for the Axial SCX10 So stay tuned. So I got the pretty much the entire builder's kit done. There is a couple of things I haven't completed on it yet, and a lot of that is in the instructions. It has you install the electronics, the motor, the ESC, and the receiver, and stuff like that. But I wanted to do just building the kit, and then because we're going to cover the electronics here in the next episode. But I wanted to kind of give you my thoughts on it. I built the Enduro kit, and then now I've built this one. And I'm going to say both kits were pretty simple. And I'm going to do a comparison video on the two here also before I get the electronics installed in it. But let's talk about some of the cool things about this guy. For one, the shocks are just as good. I feel. I don't know. A lot of people have complained about them leaking. I got them together and I didn't really see any leakage yet, but we'll find more of that out once we actually get it out on a course for our first test run. But everything was pretty simple to put together. I had no issues. The links were a lot easier than the Enduro links, so they went together pretty easily. It's still super, it's like butterly smooth. You know what I mean? So it's really cool. Manual wise, if you guys remember, I was talking about on the Enduro, you got this cool little pop out that's got all of the screw sizes. And so it's a 1-to-1. And I actually, when I started building this, I had that all set up there and I was like, I'm going to use it because it calls out for that size. I'm going to measure it. But come to find out, Axial did something a little bit better. So we'll look at the first part of this and see if it'll come in clear so you guys can see it here. So along the edge here, it tells you what bag and package to open up, like your plastics. But all of these components right here are all 1-to-1 size. So even down here at the screw, you can hold your screw up there and know exactly what size you needed. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it's like that on every single page. So you turn to the next one that has, your links. It has a scale drawing right there of 1-to-1. So you can hold your links up so you can get them, the rod ends rotated properly and all that stuff. And then, all the hardware you're going to use, it calls it out right there, tells you how many. So you can kind of pre-plan it. And even building the transmission right here, it's got all of the parts right down there on the side. If you can see if I can get it to be a little bit more in focus. It's right there on the bottom. All right. So right in here, it's got all of the transmission pieces. So what I did is I just laid them right on top of there. And as I was assembling it over here, I just rolled right down, including the shocks. You could do the same thing. So the instruction manual was it was pretty awesome. The other thing I liked about it is it gives you a full inventory of everything in each bag. So it even shows the parts tree and what parts tree you want to go to. So I thought that was kind of cool. I wish the Element had that. But, it was simple. And, even all of your hardware, you got your hardware, even shows the chassis rails and everything. The only thing that I liked, and actually we're going to talk about that in our next episode. We'll talk about the differences between these two. But all in all, it went together. It took me about, I want to say probably, I worked on it for about 4 hours yesterday and about 4 hours today. So it took me about 8 hours of working on it to put it together. I was doing other stuff, editing video at the same time and waiting for video to render. But, you know, I want to say it took me a good 8 hours to put it together. And it went together pretty good. I did the tires. I used those Endura rims with the Proline KM3 G8 compound tires. Got those installed. Got the wheel hexes, those Samex wheel hexes installed in there. So these are the 8mm ones. So they're the heavier ones that they do. And that's all that I've done to it. It's, you know, it's gonna stay. I do really like this battery tray. So the battery kind of sets vertically in it right here. And then right here, see if you guys can see it. But there's little tabs that you can put in and size it up. So if you wanted a shorter pack in this battery tray, you can install one of those tabs with a little screw at the bottom of it to fit the right size of your battery, so you don't get that side-to-side movement. So you can get it kind of pinched in there, and then you got the Velcro strap right here that, you know, to lock it in from the top. So that was pretty cool. The shocks, you know, I got fat fingers, and you know, it's the same with the Enduro, that you've got this little C-clip you got to put on the shaft, and you got to put the plastic shock rod on the end, and then you put a little C-clip on it. I didn't have any problems with the Enduro one building it, but with this one I did. I kept trying to put that little spring in, and the spring would go shooting all over the place. I thought I was going to have to order more of those little C-clips, but I ended up finding them. Lucky me. We got through it. So all in all, I'm happy with the build. It's going to turn out awesome. Next step we're going to be working on is we're going to be moving forward on the electronics. So I'm going to get the electronics installed in this bad boy, and you guys stay tuned. This is fun. I'm excited. I should have this done by the weekend so we can go play and do our first test run and thoughts on it. So, oh, one other thing. There's a lot of extra parts. So when you get this kit, they give you all kinds of extra stuff. You know, there's another chassis plate, which I think that's probably for a different style of transmission. You got all kinds of different rod ends and plastic pieces that are with it. You've got, it depends on your wheelbase on what you want. I built this for the 10.2 wheelbase. But you've got different links that you can make up if you want a different style wheelbase. And then, you know, it's got other plastic pieces that are all associated with it. So it looks like they even got a servo saver that you can build in here too. And that's what it kind of looks like. Not quite sure. They give you all kinds of different servo horns and stuff like that for it. So I think some of even this stuff you could probably reuse for something else. So I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to keep it. I guess I'm going to start keeping some plastics as backup and spares. But it seems like there was a lot more than was in the Enduro. But other than that, I'm ready for the next phase. Stay tuned. My next video that's going to come up after this one is going to be comparing the two side by side. So you guys look forward to that one. It's coming soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and bash that bell. I'm Stitch, SK Hobbies AZ, and I'm out.